Unfiltered podcast. Have not done one of these in quite a while. Actually, I think I was looking at the feed, and I think the last one of these I did was in May 8th or May 9th, what it was. We are at a dead time for sport in the sports calendar. I'm supposed to be actually technically on a 1-week hiatus, a little vacation to call from the podcast, but I did want to check in here real quick because there's something that's on my mind I wanted to just discuss real quick. And football around the corner, and you guys know I'm a big New York Giants fan, so the Saquon Barkley thing continues to be a thing. You know, it was something that I didn't really worry about much initially because I figured at some point they'll figure things out, but we're now approaching training camp in the next week or so, next week or two, and we just passed the deadline for franchise tags to be signed and all this stuff, and the Giants and Saquon Barkley have not come to an agreement. In fact, the word is that they were about $1 million to $2 million off of the proposals, whatnot. As this guy's in front of me, I'm trying to. Can I go, please? It's okay. Can I go? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Sorry, driving out of work. And I think, look, I'm going to be pro player first and always. While I am a fan of the laundry and a fan of the team. Because ultimately, players come and go, but, I always be a fan of the team first. I will always be pro player first also, because ultimately, they're the ones that get screwed at the end. And I just think, you look at the situation, it'd be one thing if this was some run-in-the-mill running back, or even a decent running back, or even above average running back, that I would say, okay, fine, it is what it is, figure it out, whatever. But we're talking about Saquon Barkley. We're talking about a guy that right now you can consider one of the best players, if not the best player in football. You can consider that. I'm not saying he is clearly, but this kid is special. And you're talking about a Giants team that's not just relying on Saquon Barkley's success to be successful, rather. They are, you can argue they are, I don't think it's an argument, they are over-relying on Saquon Barkley half the time. Last year when he was healthy, they made the playoffs, largely because of Saquon Barkley and his production. As a pass catcher, as a running back, he's actually a great blocker for a running back too as well. They need him. Until you can tell me Daniel Jones can be trusted to have the shackles off and to be trusted to lead a team without needing as much help as he has needed throughout his career, the Giants have to figure out something with Saquon Barkley. Saquon knows that too, which is why he's holding out. And quite frankly, I don't disagree with him. I don't. Look, you can replace running backs here and there, and that's fine, but you can't replace a special. And I get the Giants and their stance, and really most teams with running backs are not as viable as they once were. There's a lot more risk in terms of them getting hurt and the money you got to pay to keep them and all that. And I get all that. I totally understand that logic. But there's running backs, and then there's special. Like Joe Mixon signing $3 million or whatever it was a very small deal to stay with Cincinnati. That makes sense because Joe Mixon is a good player. He's a very good player. But Joe Mixon is not changing the dynamic of the Bengals, how good they're going to be going forward. Okay? He's not Joe Burrow. Unfortunately, the Giants, Daniel Jones ain't Joe Burrow either. And therefore, the running back is their best player. And the guy is special to the point where if I told you Saquon Barkley is the best player in football, you may not say yes immediately, but you at least consider it. Given the production and given the value of his team, he brings his team. It's not far-fetched. I mean, obviously look at Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in football, and look at the Aaron Donalds of the world and all that, Michael Parsons. But if I'm telling you, give me a list of 5 or 10 guys in the league that you consider the best players in the league, regardless of position, Saquon Barkley's in that conversation. The Giants, look, they got to figure something out. Because this is also a year where the NFC outside of Philadelphia is wide open. The only teams in the NFC that I believe are virtual locks to make the playoffs. Outside of the the winning division, of course, but the two teams I believe are the best teams in the NFC. Philadelphia, of course, which is the division rival, and then San Francisco, and then Dallas, of course. Dallas is always hanging around 10, 12 wins a year. There's space for this team to be special again, and you cannot start your year on the wrong foot with your best player and one of the best players in the league disgruntled over a contract. Especially now where they're only $1 million or $2 million off. I'll get an agreement. Make it happen, man. Make it happen. The Giants, they have no choice. They got to pony up. So, anyway, that's it for me. Until the next one. Later.